Hello there, my friends. Today we'll be creating a beautiful rug with inspiration from this picture I took at a museum of some clay figures. Here's the material I'll be using, some different colors of yarn, and a needle machine. So tufting is a method where you stick a needle with yarn in it into a canvas fabric, and then it creates like small hairs of yarn on the other side, which becomes the rug. So I just put together this wooden frame with some help from my teacher, because all of the pieces are all over the place and it was a bit difficult for me to find out which piece goes with which. Afterwards, I put on this canvas fabric and I fasten it with screws on the sides of the frame. The more tight, the better. Like, even if you think it's tight enough, it's not tight enough. Like, you really need to push it and pull it until there is no stretch left. That's how tight it needs to be. Otherwise, it won't turn out as great when you start tufting. Then I made some sketches of some different pictures that I was imagining that I could do. But in the end, I picked the clay figure picture. I thought it was very cute and it would be fun to see where I can go with this. I started sketching it on the canvas fabric and I placed the picture upside down so I would look at it more as shapes and spaces. Because sometimes when you want to draw an object from a picture, I feel like it's easy to get distracted by things and then some things turn big, some things turn small. So if I turn it around, I feel like I get a better proportion. I don't really get distracted anymore because it's more about the shape than the object itself. I made some different tests of yarns that I could use and ended up picking the one that was lighter and more like pastel because I thought it matched my photograph better. So there's two types of people. Those who prefer to eat the favorite thing first and the things they don't like later, and those who prefer to save the best things for last. So I'm usually category 2. But for this project, I just decided I wanted to do the fun things first. So I began with doing the clay figure or like the animal, and then the yellow small dots. If I get the most fun and important things up first and they're done, the rest is gonna be easier. It's like closer to the finish line. Wow, it's so soft when you look on the back side of it. So next up we have this blue. I think it's really fun how different yarns turn out differently when you tuft them. This one turns out like metallic. You can also adjust the needle so that the yarn gets different lengths when you tuft it on the other side. I did this so some parts are longer than other parts. I could have done this more strategically so that it could create 3D illusion, but by the time I came up with this, it was already too late, so I just went with something random. The yarn thickness also affects the density and how many stitches you actually need to do. Day 2, and this is my outfit of the day. I was feeling a bit special, so we went with some blue highlights. I change my highlights depending on the day. We're continuing working hard in this factory creating this beautiful llama rug. Oh, look at my ring. I really like how it reflects. I bought the ring because I watched Violet Evergarden and I was so inspired by her beautiful necklace. And then I saw this ring and I was like, wow, that ring speaks to me. So during this day, I stayed long. I even stayed until the evening, even though it doesn't look that late. What have I made? I have no idea. It looks like a llama. Maybe. And then some brown dough. Abstract. It's up to interpretation. This is art. I hope the back pain is worth it. Day 3, guys. Another day, another outfit. Starting my day with some breakfast because we all gotta eat. The work is pretty much done, and this is how far I've made the previous day. There are parts of it where it's lacking, like the yellow part here, or the blue part here, where you can just see that there's some spacing. So I will just be fixing this before I glue this whole thing together. It's a llama. So as I explained before, here I'm just filling in some extra spacing and filling in some extra yarn on the missing spots. But it's harder than you think sometimes, because if you do too much, the fabric will simply break. There ended up being some gaps here and there, but they were very small, so not that noticeable, and I really couldn't spend more time on that since the deadline was approaching. Cut the edges and make this thing work. And here we have the result. I feel like it looks kind of like an oil painting, since the different yarns look a bit like pen strokes. Kind of cute. After finishing it, I decided to seal it. We use latex to seal it. And ooh, the latex really smelled like fish for some reason. And of course, in the middle of everything, I ran out of latex. So I had to refill the bottle without spilling it out everywhere. It was kind of satisfying doing this step. I would definitely say it's the most fun step. It goes quick too. And it's nice to just brush onto the yarn as if it was hair. Here it's also good to not put too much on, because if I put too much on, it would leak to the other side and destroy the rug. And honestly, I did put too much on, but I was lucky it didn't leak to the other side. I just wanted to make sure the glue would really stick, so I wouldn't get any loose threads and so that it wouldn't break afterwards, because you never know. I put it out drying in the balcony. That's really nice weather. Put it to dry for maybe 30 minutes or so, maybe a tiny bit more. And then I had some lunch. Today we're having nice sandwiches with pesto, mozzarella, and some other things. You're a hard-working woman. Ooh, okay, I'm not gonna stand here and ruin it for you. Yep, cleaning. Wow, some people had already started to make background scenes to take pretty pictures of their rugs. Aesthetically pleasing. Oh, my rug was done now, so I was just releasing it from the frame. Afterwards, I cut the edges off so that it would be easier to fold later on. The sides are excess fabric anyways, so they're not needed.
Yeah, cutting her llama out. So it can be free.
It's a satisfying experience.
She do the cutting. She do be cutting. Look how straight it is.
Yeah.
She is so talented.
I know, I'm special. I'm different from everyone.
She built different.
Yeah.
It is free.
It's free.
Woo!
And damn, it was dirty.
Oh no.
Oh, it worked.
Yeah.
Damn, it actually sits.
It's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Same.
It actually surprised. It actually sticks.
Yeah. That's pretty cool actually.
Yeah. This is really satisfying.
I could imagine.
I know.
And at last I folded in the edges. And surprisingly, it stuck really well. I didn't even need to do anything besides pushing it down. Very satisfying process.
What is the chemistry that makes it sit together?
No idea. We should Google how to make latex. But it just smells like fish, so maybe it's something with... Maybe it's like a chemical that fishes have, and that's why it smells the same.
And so we are done, my friends. Here's the final result of this beautiful rug, if I may call it like that. I'm not gonna use it as a rug though. It's gonna hang on my wall like the pretty textured rug painting that it is. Overall, it was a very fun experience. The technique, it required a lot of patience, and you have to be able to sacrifice your back for it. But the end result turned out really nice, and I could totally imagine myself using this technique to do other things. And here's some of my other classmates' works. We have a bunch of beautiful things here. And my llama is at the bottom left. See if you can find it. Please support me by liking and subscribing. It really helps me a lot. I hope this video was helpful or fun to watch at least. See you next time!